Over my time in content creation, I've had a pretty good amount of people who have left comments or come to the live stream and said things, or in the Discord, and said things like, hey, DM, I'm really interested in becoming a content creator myself. I'm knowledgeable about the game. I like the game, whatever the reason may be. I would like to make videos. And then they'll either say something like, I have been making videos and I'm not getting any traction, or I haven't started. I feel overwhelmed. I don't know where to go, what to do. And they really don't understand either how the content creation works, or my laundry's done, or they just really need a little bit of tips and tricks to help them out. So what this video is going to be is kind of a breakdown of the fundamentals of content creation, the things you're going to need to do if you choose to pursue being a content creator, some of the trials, tribulations, whatever you want to call them, you're going to go through as a content creator and how to get over them, and really towards the end, 3 fundamental things you're going to have to have as a content creator. Okay, the first topic we're going to need to tackle is the topic of your channel. Now, that's probably going to be what game you're playing. If you're doing something like a smaller niche game, it's easier to grow than, say, something like World of Warcraft. I'll give you a reason why. Now, if you play World of Warcraft, there can be something like an oversaturated market. This is the same thing on Twitch if you're trying to be a live streamer, right? But we'll talk about how to be a live streamer on a different video. Today, we're going to stay mainly the content creation on YouTube. Depending on the game you play, it's going to depend how many content creators there are in that space. If there are a large amount of content creators in an older game, it will be harder than a newer game with a smaller amount of content creation. The reason why is when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, which is really what's going to drive everything that we're going to be talking about today, we need to know how to use the YouTube algorithm to our advantage. Everything that drives that YouTube algorithm has had years to stabilize for the older games, right? It's had years to stabilize, and the people that have been making content creation are very high in that algorithm rating. That doesn't mean you can't be successful and go in there and disrupt that a little bit, but you would really have to come out of nowhere with some pretty high tier content. Now, we've seen a little bit of an example of that kind of disruption, maybe with Hell Hades recently, where he kind of jumped up in growth relative to what people's normal growth patterns are in Raid Shadow Legends, for instance. Or you could call it a disruption with the way Stu Gaming got a huge sponsorship from Raid Shadow Legends and got a large amount of subs too. That's probably a different case. It's probably like a sponsorship case. Hell Hades is probably a better example in this scenario, as he has done very standard, organic growth very rapidly. And that can happen, but it is difficult. You'll need to do content that is above the tier of the average grade content creator within that space. And so for that reason, when you're picking your game, it is actually better, easier, smarter to pick a game that is more niche and is easier to find your channel because there's less overall content in that space. Now, you need to find a balance, okay? Now, I picked Raid Shadow Legends because it was a new game that was starting. There was not really any content creators in the space, and I was also enjoying the game. Plus, what they're doing is they put all their money into new customer acquisition. So in a way, they're almost paying my marketing. They're going out and really promoting the game, and then I make videos on the game because Raid is promoting it. They kind of bring the people in innately. And so for that reason, that's why I picked this game. Plus, it started niche. I only had like 7,000 or 8,000 subs when I came here, and I was already one of the bigger content creators just at that time. So it was small. So, there's the laundry again. So keep that in mind when you're picking your game. It's not 100% wrong to pick a game that is oversaturated, but if you do, you're really going to need to go at it with above quality content in order to get noticed and stay noticed in that area. So I do recommend starting somewhere more niche or smaller. That's part of the reason I like mobile games. So how do you do quality content then? I talk a lot about quality, but I have yet to explain what it is. When you start out with a channel, no one expects you to have thousands of dollars of hardware of equipment. However, what they do expect you to do is not waste their time with the video. So what they want is a video that is not rambling, a video that is edited. Keep in mind, just because you are putting a video out and you're new or you're a beginner or anything, that doesn't mean that you can ramble for 50 minutes into the camera and people are going to cut you any slack at all for that. You want to make sure you're cutting out portions like if you sneeze for 8 seconds straight and then fart after you sneezed and then you're like, oh God, that's embarrassing. you probably want to cut that out. I've seen videos where people will legitimately get up, use the restroom, come back, sit back down, and continue their 45-minute video. And they'll pump these out every single day. And you know they're spending 45 minutes at least a day to do it because the video is 45 minutes, but yet they refuse to open up any kind of editing software and go through and remove those tidbits. Keep in mind, if you're not willing to spend 10 seconds to remove 10 seconds of your video, you're telling everyone else, the thousands of other people that watch your video, that your 10 seconds alone is worth more than thousands of other people's 10 seconds. And for that reason, people can tell that, and people don't like it when you don't edit your videos together. You will need to learn to at least remove the boring in your videos. Keep in mind, quality doesn't just have to come from editing skills. Quality can also come from a few other things. It can come from your presentation style. People can like you as a person. People can like the way you present it. Maybe you're really good with a whiteboard. It doesn't matter. Find your thing, okay? The other thing it can come from is your knowledge, all right? Knowledge. I like these 47 new bookshelves I installed here in these Hollywood Hills, right? If you do not actually know what you're talking about, just don't make the video. Pick a video on something you do actually know about, because if you try to just your way through it, people will always tell. I was a salesman. I was a car salesman for years. Before that, I was a salesman in a number of other places. And I can tell you, BSing people doesn't work, and that you have to know your product, okay? It's the same way when it comes to trying to make videos. You need to know what you're talking about, because if you don't know what you're talking about, people don't want to hear it, all right? It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of their time. So that doesn't mean you can't talk about something that's not in your field of expertise, but don't pretend it is when you talk. You have to be authentic, okay? Especially if you're a camera-based person like me. You guys are looking at me. You're looking right at me, okay? And that's all. That's the content right now, me talking. I'm explaining things to you. If I'm not authentic in this portion, I'm going to lose all the viewers. The other thing is you need to be constantly improving, okay? All these little transitions, things like that, I obviously didn't have those day one. I paid an artist later, shout out to Vexium, to do them. You don't have to do that within the first week, the first month, probably not even within the first year, to be honest. But as you progress, you're going to need to do improvements. You cannot sit around with the exact same quality year after year and expect your growth to improve. Garbage in, garbage out, okay? If you put garbage in, meaning bad content, low effort, not improving your quality, you're going to get garbage out results, just like anything in life. So what you need to do is every time you get, and I'm not saying you have to go out there and strap yourself, but when you get spare YouTube income, if the YouTube is your hobby, not your job, and you get a $400 bonus from YouTube, don't go buy a remote control car to show off on the channel. But put it back in the channel, okay? I didn't buy anything at all other than hardware with my YouTube savings income, besides shards and stuff for the content. I mean, like, that's kind of part of the channel. Besides that, until after I had a camera, a second camera, lights, multiple green screen, microphone, like the Stream Deck, I got all kinds of audio equipment, new computer, editing, monitor. It's all a write-off, first of all. Business write-offs are a thing. So if you LLC yourself or incorporate yourself, we're not going to go that into detail, but you can write it off. The other thing is that you're reinvesting back into your business. You're not purchasing toys. So if you actually purchase something that overall improves the quality of your content at times, that's a win. You can take that as a win. Plus, if you're making videos about games because you like games, right? More than likely, you're going to like this stuff anyway. So spending, $400 on an SM7B microphone isn't a bad investment. You're going to have it for the rest of your life. It was good enough for Michael Jackson to win 8 Grammys. It's going to be good enough for you to make videos about RuneScape or whatever for, right? So improve your hardware as you can. If you're starting with just, earbuds, get a Blue Yeti when you can. If you have a Blue Yeti, upgrade to like the Electro Re20 or this or an Audio Technica or something, right? Like improve. You don't have to go super crazy with it, but improve bit by bit as you can, as the seriousness of what you're doing improves. If it becomes a real thing, then Yeah, there's absolutely no problem in improving your setup. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's talk branding, imaging, marketing. Let's talk building your community things before we go into the three fundamental things you're going to have in order that you be successful at all. So you're going to want to keep your image simple. If you guys know me, you probably know it's the Whale Pod. It's Darth Microtransaction. I have big red hair. I normally put myself in my thumbnails because I'm easily recognizable. I have some easily recognizable things like the little chest with my mustache and things of that nature, right? It's all Kraken based. I make myself easy to recognize, mostly with the hair. And the reason is if you make yourself a really complicated name or a really just over thought out thing, it doesn't stick. How many times have you guys seen popular marketing logos? I'm talking Pepsi, Coca-Cola, like big name brands that use like 18 different colors. They don't, okay? I mean, rainbow colors and crazy fonts and stuff, those aren't a thing. In the marketing world, it's simple. It's broken down. I use orange and blue, right? Orange and blue look great together, fits with the hair. It's my style, okay? Find yours. That doesn't mean you have to go like faux color, match the socks with the dress. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you do your banner, when you do your icon, make it memorable, make it simple, make it bright, make it something that when you see it, you recognize it and distinct. Same thing with your thumbnails, okay? When it comes to imagery, you can't overload information. The human eye processes outlines first. And I'm going to sound like Joe Rogan here, but like the science behind it is your eye actually detects silhouettes before anything for safety reasons. We're used to like walking around like monkeys in the woods and, oh, there's a bear, silhouettes. So for that reason, your thumbnails, that's why people have things pop out, is because you're more likely to see a silhouette. If you see my thumbnails, I have an image like this one, but then I attach a field blur background effect on it, which blurs it out, makes it flat. Then I put in text and I add a drop shadow beneath it to pop it out. And if you do not study things like this, imagery, things to marketing stuff, okay? Your job's not just playing video games, okay? Your job is being an editor. Your job is being a marketer. Your job is being a salesman. You have more than one hat. You are an entrepreneur, not a gamer. And that kind of brings me to one other point, which is that you can be successful as a gamer for sure. I mean, just being a gamer, if you're fundamentally better cut than everybody else. But if you're the average Joe, I'm just going to tell you right now, the path to victory as the average gamer is not just by focusing on the game. It's by focusing on yourself, because everyone's an average gamer, okay? If I wanted to watch the average guy log into Fortnite and die over and over and again, I'd play the game. And most people would too. You need to understand what you are. I'm not like the top-rated League of Legends player, so I'm not out there playing League of Legends. Okay, what I do like is dopamine and popping shards, and so I'm playing Raid Shadow Legend. Play to your strengths is what I'm saying. Regardless of your strengths, you have to have three things. Okay, there's three things. You have to have quality content. Number one, you got to have quality content. And quality, like I explained, comes in many forms. Okay, any of the forms previously explained about quality, you have to have a variation of that. Okay, you have to be likable. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have a webcam. There are people that do it successfully without webcams, but most of the large gaming personalities, these are webcam-based people. There are people, like rest in peace, Total Biscuit, who did it without, and that can happen, but it is more successful if you are likable with the camera. Okay, so you have to have quality. You got to be likable. And then the number three, and this is honest to God, the most important thing out of everything I've explained so far, you have to be a hard worker, dude. I know what people are going to say. Yo, DM, you sit in front of a camera. I bet this video took 2 hours to make. This isn't hard work. And you're right. This is not manual physical labor, but I work every single day. And, I went through a divorce this year, and I still average 39 videos a month. Okay, 39 videos a month, like on average, nonstop. Like you have to work entirely. The reason is you are a show, okay? You are, at least my style is, you are producing content for people to enjoy. People wake up drink their coffee, and if they like you enough, they watch your video. And if you're not there, they forget about you. So if you do a video like every day or every other day, that's fine. But if you're doing a video like 5 days, put out a video, 1 week, put out a video. Okay, then I do one day, 3 days in a row, I put out a video, then I wait 2 weeks. Like, don't even bother. Like, that's like not showing up for work. I mean, imagine this, right? You get your dream job or you get your dream internship that can turn into your dream job. And then what do? You show up 4 hours a week? Like, guys, before you even get your first YouTube paycheck, before you even get 1,000 subs you can get monetized, before you struggle with the headache that is AdSense, you're going to want hundreds of hours into this because it's a job. It's a job. It's a dream job. If you can get it and if you can keep it, I'm trying to keep it, but it is a dream job and you have to work. I know many people that just don't put out videos and then they stay the same size for years, and it's like one video a week or something. That will happen. You will not grow unless you do something to make yourself grow. Okay. So good effort in, good results out. But like George Carlin says, garbage in, garbage out. Okay, guys, here's the deal. This video is part 1. If you want part 2, like the video. This is kind of a new thing. I'm talking about YouTube stuff and, trying to help people out here, a little bit of something different. So if you want to see this video again, please let me know. Subscribe, please, if you're new to the channel, because like I said, I got to ask you, I'm a content creator, right? This is my job. So you want to see part 2? There's a lesson for you. You got to ask for subscriberinos or you don't get them.